I'd like to introduce our next very brave storyteller, Nancy Rosado.
Give me a second to set up my cheat sheets. I'm not as young as these two. Kind of impressive the way they do that without looking, right? As a member of the board of NAMI, I want to thank all of you, give you my personal thanks for coming out tonight in support of us. This really means a lot to everyone here up on the stage and to our organization. I saw some of you looking at your programs, and you looked at our profiles, and in all that you saw in mine, there was something that was not said, and that's that there's a DVD player in my head. Don't look at me that way. I'm not crazy. There really is a DVD player inside of my head. I have no control over it. It randomly plays whenever it wants to. Plays bits and pieces of a movie. My movie. My unique experience of an event processed through my training as a mental health professional, processed through my training as a police officer, processed by my emotions. There's a DVD player in my head, and I know the exact day it got in there. While I was busy directing traffic and directing civilians and trying to keep the men and women that were under my care, under my charge, safe. While looking up at a fire I could do nothing about, while watching other men and women make the last decision of their lives and the last sound that they would ever make, while looking in people's eyes and seeing the fear there and not being able to lend them support and give them a hug. While sitting there with all this training and all of this equipment, looking for the opportunity to use it and never finding it. There's a DVD player in my head, and it recorded everything that happened to me and everything I saw on September 11th, 2001. And now it plays bits and parts of that day while keeping other parts, the parts I want to remember, away from me. There's a DVD player in my head, and in the months after September 11th, it would randomly hit play and make me freeze while it showed me the volume of things that I picked up and touched and carried that no human being should ever have to pick up, touch, or carry. It would randomly hit play first thing in the morning when I opened my eyes, or when I got stuck at a red light that took too long, or when I drove by a construction site where they were taking down a building, or when I heard sirens, or when I walked into the meat section of a supermarket, or when I smelled smoke. No barbecues for me that summer. There's a DVD player in my head, and in the years after September 11th, it didn't play as frequently as it once did. Because you see, I took the time to rescue me because I couldn't rescue them. Because I couldn't rescue that one extra person that would have made a difference in the life of my brother Aaron. And in the days after, it haunted me. But I kept learning more and more to take control, to not let it have its way. And now, when it does play, I no longer care if when I'm speaking in public the tears come rolling down my face. As it plays a movie, the movie that's playing in my head right now, and change the cadence of my speech to something a little quicker because I got to get the words out before it overpowers what I'm trying to tell you, before it makes me forget my next line. I accept all of this as mine. I accept that I could not catch them. I accept that I could not stop 2 buildings from falling down. I accept that I could only do what I did. There's a DVD player in my head. And today, 16 years later, it still has a will of its own. Tying my experiences of then to my experiences today. And even you, any one of you, can accidentally get it to play. But I no longer freeze. You see, I grew to understand over the years that those are my memories that plays back. That my memories of that day are worthy of being remembered. That I own these memories, but they don't own me. And that we must never forget what happened that day. And we must never forget the impact that a day like that has on anyone who was a first responder or was there. Thank you.